Yeah, there's a couple of Teshars in the sideboard. Alright, so 4-color Kethis combo. This is card for card, the list that's up on my site, and that we've been playing for a little bit here. Very close to the list that the couple of players that did well in the MCQ played. For those that haven't seen this deck before, the basic idea is with Diligent Excavator and a bunch of historic spells, which are legendaries, artifacts, and planeswalkers, you mill yourself a bunch, and then you play Kethis, the Hidden Hand, to then replay a bunch of legends from your graveyard. And then when you replay a bunch of stuff like Mox Ambers, you eventually can mill your opponent out, or you can float a bunch of mana and loop through casting Oath of Kayas because they go back to your graveyard after they deal 3 damage to kill your opponent in a 3 damage burst. Post board, we can diversify our threats a little bit and also win via Jace Wielder of Mysteries alt text, but I'm pretty happy with this main deck, so let's just go ahead and dive on into some matches here with it and see how it goes. Yep. We are getting close to the fancy sleeves. This is probably a mulligan, right? I don't know. I'm gonna try and keep it. My threshold for keepable hands in decks that have multiple colors is a little bit lower, just because like I can cast whatever I draw with this hand, which is nice. And I have a couple of scry lands on the draw. Current Stoneforge Mystic deck for Modern. Jeskai Blade that we played yesterday felt reasonably fine. We also played, what's the word I'm searching for? We also played Vanafear Blade yesterday, which was kind of sweet. There were some folks that talked about it in Discord. I'd rather just not get into it on stream, Turkin. Spank Weasel, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Is the opponent playing? Is this another person playing Gates? And to re-up for the best Magic content online. I appreciate you keeping me around. Looks like they're playing Gates. So I think I want to Ashiok and get this going just to Ashiok can fill my bin for Kethis. Get that going. If you don't know what Turkin's referring to there, don't worry about it. Is the best answer. So I think the sequence next turn is I want to Laz and hopefully find a Diligent Excavator here to copy so that I can Kethis and get going next turn. Gatebreaker Rim. Yeah, they are just playing like traditional gates here. Wild. So the gates matchup with our last deck was pretty bad for us, but the gates matchup with this deck is probably pretty okay. I wonder if I'm actually supposed to just Tamiyo here since I missed on Excavator. Yeah, I'm just gonna Tamiyo here.
Let us have a storied battle worth telling. Seek and find.
So next turn we'll go Excavator, Kethis, mill ourselves. This mills us. This mills us. If we find 1 or 2 Mox next turn in our 12 cards or whatever, we could get them. Yeah, Amber mills us too. So we get to mill We get like 14 or 15 cards to try and find it. They just named Karn the Great Creator. That actually shuts off our Mox Ambers, huh? That's kind of sick.
I am not going to sit this one out. No, I am not making.
There is a Hoaglandia Discord that if you're not in, you should definitely pop into. Lots of great categories in there for all things Magic related. Your nightmares remain. Yeah, even, I mean, Modern sucked this morning, so when Modern sucks, it's always bad, but, like, even when Modern's good, it's, Arena is just more enjoyable to play. Just from an application perspective, like, just using the actual interface is just so much more elegant on Magic Arena. It's like one's a sim and one's a video game. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Do I want this Ruinous Blast in this matchup? They do have Gatebreaker Rams, and were they guaranteed dead? They're not guaranteed, but highly likely. Yeah, I agree, Marty. Like, save targets and auto yield would be great to have in Arena, but in general, this application is just so much better. So, Modern's probably never going to be on Arena, but we get Historic in the fall, which is like, we were actually talking about that earlier today. I think once Historic drops in the fall, we're going to do at least 1 day a week of Historic content. Is my plan. If you just subscribed or just re-upped, the Discord syncs every hour or 2 hours, so sometimes you have to wait a second for that. Miss Light, thanks for the 3 months. Also keep in mind, you have to be on a desktop computer to join the server initially. Once you're in the server, you can chat from mobile, obviously, like any other server. Yeah, the overlay is infinitely better too. No viewer perspective. Yeah, seems great. So having watched you play this before, it feels like you bring in Jace from the sideboard more often than left him out. Do you think it's worth considering the main board? Nope. I think in a deck like this, it's just generally a good idea to diversify your win conditions post board. Hey, Chaos Nick, thank you for the quarter of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome. What do those options and do? Auto yield and save targets. So auto yield basically means take Diligent Excavator here, for instance. This is actually a deck that would love those options. So oh, I forgot to play the Mox Amber. I'm gonna wait a turn. Diligent Excavator auto yield, basically it never stops to ask you if you want to do something in response to your own trigger. So it speeds up how much clock you're using because it doesn't waste your time. Umbra, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Now, unfortunately, I can't Fblthp this turn, but that's fine. Howdy hippity. Hippity hop, the fun don't stop. We are currently missing black mana, which is a little awkward, but what's her name? Tamiyo can pick up a black source next turn. You set the auto yields per game, and you can cancel your auto yields at any point. At any point, there's an option to turn off all the ones you've set, just in case you need to respond to something that you've set one for. Amber only adds colors of mana that you have legends for. Wow, that's rude. I guess that was actually a missequence on my part there. I should have thought about negate and played around it, because if I lead on Fblthp there, I'm guaranteed to get to cast that Teferi as well. But because I don't have a legendary in play now, I can't Fibble this turn. So we're looking to fade Gates Ablaze for the time being. So that would kill my excavators. Negate's fine in this matchup. I don't know that I'd call it good, but I think it's fine. Twiddlestorm was the dumpster fire today, unfortunately. Huh? So, do I just jam Tamiyo here? And like try and pick Kethis up? Because if I Tamiyo pick up Kethis, I probably get them next turn, right? It might be right to try and play around a second negate here. Yep. How late to the modern stream roast today? Till about 2 o'clock. I'm gonna throw away Fblthp just to gain 1, because I'm casting another Fblthp next turn regardless, so might as well. Hey, 3HD Gamers, thank you for the 5 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, Kethis or Laz are our 2 best draws here. Looks like our opponent's tapping out, so if we're lucky, we have a window to kill them. I know this has trample, but this is going away on my turn anyway, so I'm going to cast another one, so... Yep.
I am Tamiyo. It is an honor to meet you.
Alright, that's a slow Kethis, but it'll do in a pinch. Lighthammer, thank you for the 12 months of support. Hope your Thursday is finding you well. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. I'm gonna mill these this turn, because I think I'm gonna chump block with these excavators so I don't get randomly burned out, maybe. Yeah, there's a bunch of effects that get the second draw from Fblthp. Neoform. Finale of Devastation. Prime Speaker Vanafear. Russian Spoon. Thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate it. Just do me a solid and don't help the Orange Man get reelected in 2020. I appreciate you, Russia. Yeah, Citadel. Citadel's another good one. All right, dead to Gates Ablaze here. The Ram's gonna be barreling down our door. Poor Jeskai control. Hopefully we get something in Alendra in the fall to make Jeskai control reasonable and historic. Scale of 1 to dead, where are we at here? Yeah, can you let me know? The double negate definitely slowed us down enough that they have a shot here.
More data will be
Tamiyo has died. Yeah, if they don't kill us here, we're very likely to win next turn. Yeah, I'm double blocking because of Banefire. They took our memes, chat. They're coming for our memes. Hide your memes. Hide your memes. Peak is, I'm telling you, this deck is gonna be great. It's basically modern. All right, extra Ruinous Blast, yes please. How dare they interact with us? I agree. What do they think this is? Think this is Hearthstone playing an interactive card game? Get out of here. That's fine. We'll board in another Ruinous Blast. We'll get them on the play here. Yes, Teferi can also help beat Grafdigger's Cage. We have a variety of ways we can beat Grafdigger's Cage. They had pressure with their disruption, which is key. Once you have your Discord and Twitch account linked, you need to open the Connections tab in your Discord on your desktop computer, and you'll see an option there to join the server. You just need to, like, go to a library or something, Mojo. Libraries still have public computers anyone can use, right? Oh, I'm dumb. I was reading chat. I 10 out of 10 should have played Tamiyo here. 10 out of 10 should have played Tamiyo here. Big mistake not to. Once you join the server, you can use it for mobile. Getting Tamiyo filling my graveyard ASAP would be ideal. Getting Tamiyo in under a negate there would also be ideal.
of experience. Let me aid your research.
All right. We flipped over a copy of the Exile spell there. Yeah. The desktop Discord application is literally just a forked version of Chromium. It's just a web browser wrapped up with branding that only opens Discord.
This isn't a fight you can win. That's more like it.
I think you will find my notes helpful.
Just digging for Excavator here.
Trust me,
Since there was a Stoneforge day, are we gonna get a Ferocity day? Maybe.
I've done the hero thing before.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I really should have seen that coming.
We're playing Hearthstone. Yep, kinda. So, I think I want to wait on playing this so I don't just lose it to Gates Ablaze next turn. No, I'm going to use my mana now. If they Gates Ablaze me, I have Laz next turn. That's fine. And if they Gates Ablaze me, they're then not redeploying the Cinder Vines, which is nice. I would be very surprised if this deck doesn't have staying power. I think you're right that there's a lot of good hate cards that give you interaction against this deck. But I also think this deck has the ability to play through hate very well. Like so.
To the library.
Don't mind me. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we might be able to go here. We really need to find another Mox Opal. So this is where that auto yield thing we were talking about earlier comes into play. So, like, if this application had auto yield, like Magic Online has auto yield, I would be able to never have to click yes in response to these things ever again. So now we do this, and I exile Ashiok and Ruinous Blast here. And then what I get to do here is I get to go Mox Amber, mill myself, Mox Amber, mill myself, Teferi, bounce the Cindervines, so the Cindervines isn't in danger of killing me. And then we get to mill ourselves over, and then we'll get to mill them, or use our 4-mana Jace to get it going. How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. If you're someone who enjoys constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks here, and usually we change decks every 60 minutes to 2 hours, so you get a lot of variety in my stream every day. As always, love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series is a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, be sure to check out their streaming coverage as well at twitch.tv/NRG series. BCW Supplies, the only ones I trust to protect my valuable paper trading cards using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com. You can save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic gaming accessories there with them. Cardsphere.com is the fantastic peer-to-peer trading network that would love to help you turn your cards into other cards direct with other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And, of course,
don't make your life garbage time. Join us in Hoaglandia today by subscribing to Jeff Hoagland with Twitch Prime today.
JPB, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. We are 1-0 with Kethis here. Just played our first match. Beat a plethora of hate cards there. The vegetable man is quite excellent. You're not wrong. So in general, I tend to keep hands that have all my colors, but I think this one's probably a mulligan. I only have, if I had like a second scry, I think I'd talk myself into this, but without a second scry, I think I can do better on 6. Just poking in for a second. Well, I could say have a good day streaming. Put this towards Jessica here in the queue. Will do, Jakealicious. Thanks for the support. Hope you're having a good one. This hand is excellent. We're going to bottom Temple Garden. I don't really need second green. Interesting that my opponent's playing Land Worlds in their Field of the Dead deck. So what do I want to do here? I'm really sad that I don't have a second blue source. I'd probably say a 1 or a 2, Maestro. I think if you're someone who eventually wants to get into... If you're someone that eventually wants to get into Magic Arena, you better learn to love Standard or Historic. Alright, would love a Mox here.
Seek and find.
Perfect. With the Mox Straw, I think I just Teferi bounce Cavalier here. Like, obviously they get more triggers with it, but that kind of keeps it off my back for a little bit, right? I'm just trying to buy time here. Teferi bounce Mox, play Fblthp. That's a good line. Yeah, I think that line might be better. I like your line.
Strange and magnificent world.
I think regardless of what we do, if they're not interactive here, they're probably dead.
Behold, nature's true power.
The fact that this gets to block 3/3s is so good. Do we have a strong possibility we kill them next turn? We're going to Tamiyo, pick up the Excavator in the bin, and then we can trigger it twice. And then probably go from there. This deck lines up pretty well against these non-interactive ramp decks in my experience. You have to be racing this deck, or you have to be incredibly interactive. And my opponent's archetype is neither of those things. Does neither of those things. So we're looking for more Mox in here to really get going. Laz gives us a bunch of looks at more Mox in. That's more food. Let's activate Kethis here. Exile Laz and an Oath for now. I've been grinding Standard online since I played Paper and Gills, but I want to break into Modern. Nothing to practice. Modern online without MTGO is painful. You're not wrong. Painful. Painful is an apt description of Magic Online. So we're looking for a third Mox here to really get going. Yes, I can play this Teferi, which allows me to bounce Mox Amber. Does the opponent play Nexus? Even if they do play Nexus, we're just going to kill them with Oathakaya.
You show remorse, I'll show restraint. There goes nothing.
There's a third Mox. Third Mox makes us deterministic at this point. So how we win the game from here is we're gonna cast Oathakaya a bunch of times. For those that aren't familiar with how this deck works. So how we do it from here is we go ahead and we Kethis. We exile Fblthp and a Teferi.
This is hardly my worst.
And then our hand gets bigger here. We go ahead and we cast this Mox Amber. So we're going to flip. And again, this is that I'm going to turn off. I'm going to let it auto-order triggered abilities here. On Magic Online, we'd be able to say, hey, always target me with these mills, because I never want to target anybody else. But unfortunately, on Magic Arena, we don't have always target same options. So I assume they have a Nexus of 8, and that's why they haven't conceded yet. So hopefully once we demonstrate that we're going to start Oathakayaing them, they'll concede. But if they don't concede, we'll click through it and we'll kill them. Actually, we can start milling them while we do this, just to see. And now we activate this again, which lets us recast the Mox that have gone to our graveyard since. I might not have enough loops in me to kill their whole board. I do. Remember, this combo is not infinite, it is finite. It's a large finite, so it's more than enough. So, like, they're deterministically dead, we're just not infinite. And we also get to take a peekaboo at their deck, since they're not conceding. Yeah, they're dead. They're dead on board. It's just going to take me a second. Man, clicking through this in a high-profile tournament would be really stressful. That your hand just moves around so much with these cards at the bottom. I'd be super worried about misclicking. Stanislav Sivka is one of the players that worked with us. I believe Andrei Strowski as well. There were 3 people that played this in the MCQ weekend a couple weekends ago, and 2 of them qualified for the Mythic Championship playing it. Deck's really sweet. So post-board, our combo beats Veil of Summer as well. Because post-board, we boarded 4-mana Jace and would just cast 4-mana Jace. Yeah, I saw the Teshar deck before they added these new cards. The Teshar deck was not particularly good. I think this deck is genuinely good and powerful. The Teshar deck was sweet, but it wasn't good. There's a Stoneforge craze over. Yeah, we're going back to just playing the queue in order. Scooter. I am gonna do 2 modern decks per day starting tomorrow. We're gonna go back to doing 2 modern decks a day between now and rotation. And just in case there's a Nexus in their hand, I'm gonna kill them with Oath of Kaias. There's no reason to risk them having a Nexus in their hand that they're gonna cast during their upkeep. So might as well actually kill them. I mean, there's a chance they don't have Nexus, but I've come so far. And if I pass the turn, it might not matter. Oh, they can't upkeep cast because of Teferi. They are currently playing Hearthstone, that's true. Alright, so we'll just pass. Alright, fine. I've already used like 10 minutes off my clock, and I'd like to play a few more matches with this deck, so I'm not gonna dick around and like make plays that are inoptimal trying to deck them. I think that's not ideal. Alright, so in the matches like this where I'm bringing in Jace anyways, I tend to board out the Oath of Kaias if they don't have meaningful text, so like Oath of Kaias doesn't really kill much of their stuff, so I think that's fine. Do we think I want Elderspell in this matchup? Probably not. I think milling them plus Jace are probably plenty of win conditions. Their deck doesn't have a lot of removal. Teshar's probably not bad. But I'd rather have Teshar or Ashiok. Why not always have the Jace main? Why should I have the Jace main? Now, I think we just go off faster than their Field of the Deads. Elderspell could be helpful against their Ashiok, so that's true. Let's do that. Killing this is not irrelevant either. Buys us a lot of time. Sure. All of our colors, Kethis. Would really like an Excavator. I'm on the draw with some scries here, though. I think I'm actually going to keep that, because I can curve Kethis on 3 into Ruinous Blast on 4 here. Yeah, Underrealm Lich is just not really a constructed playable card. It just doesn't do enough, unfortunately. I'm so sad that they put this ugly border on these beautiful cards. I really wish they put the actual border on these things. It would look so much better. We have a Veil of Summer here. Feels like they have a Veil of Summer the way we keep getting pauses. Sure. Might have been right to lead on Teferi here, just because of that, because they don't have that much pressure in play yet. I guess this doesn't even do that much. It would have just exiled these two. It doesn't deal with the lands. Yikes. I guess that's not too bad, actually, right? Because I get to Teferi bounce it. We might die before we can get it back down, though, right? So I have 5 mana here.
Sorry I'm late. Let's try this.
We are probabilistically dead here. Ruinous Blast actually probably isn't very good here. I forgot that this doesn't actually exile the Nissa lands, which makes it a lot worse.
Now what?
So I play this, I die. I am gonna cut these blasts and put Ashiok in on the play so we can just try and get a little linear, I think. Let's get linear. I want to get linear. Let's get into linear. Do 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 do. Be do 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 do. I cut the Urza's Ruinous Blast since they don't deal with Nissa lands. All of our colors, Diligent Excavator, looking for some legendaries, some historic cards. Our deck's got a couple of historic cards in it, so we should be pretty likely to hit. Is that a good one, chat? What do we think of that one? I like a deck with a good linear combo draw. Yeah, sure, you got no 3. So again, we start by milling ourselves to fill our graveyard up, so that way Kethis can get going. We hit a Mox there, which is awesome. Tamiyo gives us a lot of looks at a Mox next turn. Yeah, Risen Reef resolves. We could go as early as next turn, if we get really fortunate.
Let us see if your talent. I know I noted this somewhere.
All right, so this makes other things cheaper. So I'm going to exile these 2. And then I'm going to go play this Mox, mill myself. And then I'm going to go Teferi, mill myself, bounce Mox Amber, draw a card. And again, we're looking for another Mox Amber here. That's another Mox Amber. So I can make black mana here. Let's make blue. Oh, that's unfortunate. Huh? Yeah, I guess we're just passing. I didn't hit any more legends. I needed to hit one more legendary card there, so that way I could exile like Kethis plus the other legendary, and then replay this Mox, and then play Ashiok and mill a bunch more over. Yeah, we hit a lot of lands in a row. It's fine. Our opponent's like not likely. I could have cast Lavs from hand, but my likelihood of comboing from that position is then incredibly unlikely. Whereas, like, my opponent's unlikely to do anything that matters on their next turn, and my chance to go off on my turn 5 is absurdly high. So I definitely want to just wait. Especially with Tamiyo getting to plus here.
Let me aid your research.
Oh, was there an excavator already in my bin? Oh, there totally was. That's a huge mistake. Yeah, taking the excavator from my bin was the correct decision. Sweet. Just tuned in. What's the combo? Watch and see. So we're gonna do the thing here. Oh, I forgot to. I've been really sloppy here. So I could have picked up an excavator with this, and then I could have. We're gonna do this now. This lets me copy this. And this is a post-board game, so we've got a 4-mana Jace in our deck. So, mill myself for 4. We'll do this, exile this, and this.
I have learned.
Yeah, exactly. This deck, like we were talking about earlier today, this deck's really good, which means even though I'm making some mistakes here and not playing optimally, the raw power level of my deck is going to pull me through. Hey, Expateg, thank you for these 7 months of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. I agree, Dallas. I did not think this deck was real. You look at the card list and you're like, there's no way this is real. This is turn 5. If we had been a little bit luckier, we would have won on turn 4. No, Arena has a lot of frame rate lag.
Just an illusion. Let's try this.
Arena has a lot of frame rate lag. Sweet memes are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody memeing for something. Maybe we'll just go like 8-0 with this deck today and actually top 1,000 the ladder. That could be exciting. Dual Josh! Thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate it. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Close to the mod sword indeed. Yeah, the lack of animation on the Jace win is sad. Yeah, that seems super reasonable. We'll bottom Watery Grave here. Looking for a Diligent Excavator here. Any 2-drop. Excavator, Fblthp, or Excavator, Fblthp, or the what's it called? So Fblthp is even good here because Fblthp means that I'm gonna get to turn 3 Tamiyo, which is great. And then Tamiyo is gonna dig us to finding copies of Excavator. Just Divine Mare. Old Fibbles can chump that one. How aggressively do you mulligan with this deck? I mean, you don't keep bad hands. That's not super descriptive, I guess, but you mulligan the bad hands. So you'll notice I held on to Mox Amber there for a little while, and the reason for that is I wanted to. Oh, that's a Ruinous Blast. I wanted to give myself a chance to draw Diligent Excavator. Because if I draw it naturally, Mox Amber would mill myself.
Nature will take back what rightfully belongs to it.
They have a lot of pressure here. Opponent not really having disruption, but significant amount of pressure. Wow, okay, so any untapped land tier lets us Ruinous Blast them. That's a Lazav. I think we're dead. Needed an untapped land there. If I Tamiyo a land back, I can't Tamiyo the Ruinous Blast. For people that are wondering why I'm in the tank. Yeah, we're just dead. Need to be on the play that game. Opponent had a very aggressive start, and we missed on a 4th untapped land to be able to do anything. Happens. Definitely want my extra blast here. Probably don't want Ashiok. Maybe Time Raveler's not good enough. I think I probably want to be... Othakaya could be a reasonable interaction. I like that Ashiok helps us accelerate and race a little bit in terms of our linear game plan. What do we think of this board plan? I think this seems reasonable. Bum ba dum ba dum ba da 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 da. Bum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum bum ba dum bum bum. This is very likely a turn 4 blast, which is probably very good here. There is a mono green deck, likely the deck that our current opponent is playing, that someone used to qualify for the Mythic Championship. People using specific cards in large tournament qualifiers tends to encourage other people to also play those cards. Vinemare does not get blocked by Zomboys and Girls. That's very true. Ooh, that's exciting. Now the trouble is, if I want a Ruinous Blast, I lose my Excavator. Oh, I can't cast that? That's super awkward. I think I still want to do this, because I don't want them to Nissa me next turn. Yep.
I will protect the virtue of this world. The land fights for us.
I'm gonna wait on jumping here because this is probably going to get. I'll wait until they can threaten the pump on the Thorn Lieutenant, basically. Yeah, 3/4. 3/4 is a decent pickup for sure. They've got up to 10 mana here, which is a lot of mana. Hopefully they just vomit out a bunch of creatures, and then we get to untap and Ruinous Blast them. That's unfortunate.
Close your eyes, breathe, and listen to the sounds of the wild.
Yep, so this is going to kill Kethis.
We're gonna tear you apart.
Rise, my elemental friend. Because the damage doesn't matter, Loam. And they're not blocking with their Druid. I'm just saving myself some clicks.
Oh, no. Oh, that's super fucking awkward. Well, I wanna cast this Fblthp, and now I have to shock myself to do it. Because this Mox no longer makes blue mana, because this is no longer blue. Woof. Probably dead. I think we're dead on board. I assume some mix of attacking with everything here kills us, but I'm gonna make them do it. The reason why I didn't Ruinous Blast last turn is it leaves the forest alive. So I'd have to chump block with my Laz if I do that. Because they'd have another forest plus this, which would be attacking for 8, so I'd be forced to chump block anyways. Yeah, we were a little bit slow game 1 in this game. This game, things just never really came together for us. We don't really have good interaction points for 6 mana Nissa. 5 mana Nissa, whatever it's called. Three mana Nissa, let's be honest. That's true. She's 5 mana in the same way that 5 mana Teferi is 5 mana. Yeah, the Vivian plus giving trample is also very strong. Especially when you combine it with cards like, Vinemare that are difficult to interact with. This hand's great. All of our colors, turn 3 Tamiyo. Yeah, mono green deck seems very sweet. This matchup's not impossible, but it's definitely hard. It's a matchup where we'd probably prefer to win the die roll like most of the aggressive matchups. Magic, one of the things that kind of sucks about Magic is that the person on the play just has such an incredible advantage over the player on the draw. Hey, Pylon, thanks for the 6 months of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. They just put out a dev update, not much to report on, just talks about rotation and mastery tree deadline. Good to know. Not blocking here because they have a shock that's revealed from light up the stage. Yep. Oh, the fact that we have to shock for this land really sucks. Probably end up being a little bit too slow here. Oh, that's an Othakaya. Ha! Hey, thanks for the 5 months, Creator. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're just dead, right?
Seek and find.
The difference the play versus the draw makes yet again. Feels bad, man. I mean, I don't know if they've ever logged it for major tournaments, but Wizards definitely has access to that data, right? Like they have. In fact, looking at it for a tournament is much less data than just looking at it on Magic Online or Magic Arena, right? Like they have vast amounts of data from these digital applications. This was an excellent draw. Curving 1/3s and 3/4s is wonderful here. Opponent's deck's got a lot of tiny creatures in it. Meaningful blockers are busted. I think I'm gonna lead on Fblthp here. Just because 1, I don't really want to shock a land in, and 2, I don't want to like block with Kethis and then have it die to like a lightning bolt or something. I'm not blocking, so might as well attack. Looks like Arena will be adding new cards from past Magic sets for Historic, independent of Standard sets. They are November source. I've been lied to, chat. Someone was just in here like the state of the beta doesn't say anything useful. That's very useful and important. Hey, remember that time we said the smart thing to do would be for them to slowly re-release it? So that way they can slowly take money from people and ebb hike. Wait, what? This is huge. All right, I need to finish. We're probably gonna die here in a minute, but yeah, we're gonna. All right, that's like a big deal. Concede and discuss. Nah, I want to win this match. I'm gonna pick Kethis back up here. If they want to kill her with shock, that's fine. They didn't have a shock to kill Excavator here, so...
I have learned much from my ancestors.
Marty, can you I don't! Chat! I have a moment of great concern because the updates to Historic that they're announcing today, this makes not once, not twice, but 3 pretty big announcements that Wizards of the Coast has made where I have not wanted to shake my head and just be extremely disappointed. And I'm not quite sure how to process this strange new decision-making process from Wizards of the Coast. Yeah. No, this isn't stopped clock right twice per day. This is like a constant string of decisions that are less like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Y'all want to see a sweet turn? So let's do this. Exile this and this. Oh no, that's sad. I was going to get to cast Ruinous Blast this turn. Now we cannot. All right, so I guess we'll cast Lazav. Sorry to distract. We're gonna look at the announcement together in a minute, but I want to finish this game because this is gonna be the last match with this deck. But these announcements are a big deal. If you want to wait before this match is done, you can check them out here. It's a big deal. Oh, I just milled my Tolsimir. Awkward. I surveilled the top and then milled because I'm not all here. Until I'm presented with evidence to the contrary, all of Wizards of the Coast's great decisions started after Zach Elsick started working there, and I like Zach, so I'm going to give him credit for all the good decisions. Alright, Tolsimir costs double green. That's fine though, right? So we have this, copy Kethis. And then we have Kethis activate. And actually, I get a free mana, right? Because I could do this and then play this out. Look at, I drew a couple of cards, chat. All right, they're dead. So, double double wild cards for Historic makes sense. It's not something that we're happy with, but from that, I view that as a reasonable compromise for them to be giving us something that we want that's still profitable for them. Because remember, when you're crafting a card for Historic, that card's almost never going to leave Historic. So, like, from Wizards' perspective, they want people playing Standard, not Historic. So, it's being required to pay a premium to get into the format that they want you in a little bit less, that you're going to get to keep your stuff for forever, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I agree with Lord. His hand is really good if we had mana to cast our spells. If you're someone who's keeping up with Standard historically much cheaper, yeah, playing non-rotating formats is almost always cheaper than playing Standard. Wait, all non-standard cards cost more wild cards, or just the new cards cost more wild cards? I'm gonna read the announcement in a second. Let's finish this game and I'll read the announcement in a second. We can all take a peek together. Sure, Kuntz, but again, people buying in late should be playing Standard, generally speaking. That's where Wizards wants the people playing Magic. And again, that, you know, it just says historic card. Sure. Again, they need to strike a balance between they have shareholders to answer to. Sorry, they're a for-profit business. So from a business back end, I understand them making that decision. Because again, they prefer people play Standard. As players, we want them to support Historic. Really sucks that I have to shock this in. Do I have to shock this in? I'm just gonna play this as a 1/3 and play this tapped. They still have 4 cards in their hand, so we're a little bit behind here. Especially depending on how much burn they have access to at this point. Would really like to draw more copies of Othikai here. I gotta say, you're disappointing me. Jeff, I need your takes hotter. Jeff, hotter takes, please. This calm and collected thing is not doing it for me, Jeff. We're probably dead here. Alright, kill me so I can go read this announcement. All right. To wrap on Kethis, I think this deck's really sweet. I think this deck is going to be really sweet and historic. It's a weird, quirky combo deck. I think there's our games. We had our last 2 matches there were great examples of if we'd won the die roll, we probably would have won the match. We were just 2 turns short in game 1s both times, and that ended up costing us, but it's just how it goes sometimes. If you're looking for a sweet combo deck, you can find this list along with other videos of me playing it on my website, magicesports.net. That being said, let's pull up this announcement before we roll on to the Bloodgates